Orleans Mayor Cantrell and her former NOPD bodyguard Jeffrey Vappie face an 18-count indictment. It accuses Cantrell and Vappie of conspiracy, wire fraud, and lying to a grand jury. This is the first time in New Orleans history a sitting mayor faces federal criminal charges. Sabrina Wilson takes a look at the history of other American mayors who faced indictment while in office.
The indictment of Mayor LaToya Cantrell, a historic development and a city 384,000 people call home. Never before has a sitting New Orleans mayor faced criminal prosecution. In the months before the federal grand jury handed up the indictment, Cantrell responded to questions about whether she'd received a target letter from the feds.
I've been a center of countless investigations, right? And I have always complied, and that's what I'll continue to do. I do know that this seems to be kind of prevalent relative to black leadership, you know, and I think that I'm not exempt from that.
Like all defendants, Cantrell is presumed innocent until proven guilty. And while she's the first New Orleans mayor to be under indictment, she's not the first to face federal corruption charges. January 2013, Ray Nagin was indicted on 21 charges, including conspiracy, bribery, and honest services wire fraud, 3 years after he left the mayor's office. Federal prosecutors said Nagin used his public office and official capacity to provide favorable treatment, including awarding contracts that benefited individuals, providing him bribes and kickbacks. In 2014, a jury convicted Nagin on 20 of the 21 charges, and a judge sentenced him to 10 years in prison. Dr. John Polisaro, Director of Government Ethics at the Markala Center for Applied Ethics at Santa Clara University, says it's not an anomaly for elected officials to be indicted.
Unfortunately, it's become all too common for public officials to find themselves ensnared in some inappropriate activity, from corruption to taking bribes, to trying to make themselves benefit financially as a result of their public office.
September 2024, a grand jury handed up a federal indictment against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Adams is accused of accepting illegal campaign contributions and free overseas trips from people looking to buy influence in New York City government. In 2019, Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh resigned under pressure and later pleaded guilty to federal conspiracy and tax charges. That same year, federal prosecutors arrested and charged Fall River, Massachusetts Mayor Jazel Correa for allegedly extorting hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes from marijuana vendors. Correa was convicted and sentenced to 6 years in prison. 2015, Dr. Felix Roque, who was mayor of West New York, New Jersey at the time, was indicted for allegedly taking bribes for referring patients to a medical imaging company, but was later acquitted. In 2014, the feds arrested Charlotte, North Carolina Mayor Patrick D'Angelo Cannon on federal theft and bribery charges. He stepped down hours later. In 2008, Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick resigned as part of a plea deal involving state felony charges. Then in 2013, he was found guilty of federal corruption charges. Dr. Polisaro says examples such as these often lead to the erosion of public trust.
It really serves to undermine the confidence that people have in their government, and it has a corrosive impact on trust in government. So ethically, the acceptance of a public office comes with it the duty to serve the public interest. And that's an ethical duty, to be looking out for the common good and what's in the interest of the public as a whole, and not looking out for a private or financial interest while serving in office.
He says it's important for voters to pay attention.
Informed voter is an ethical voter because they're able to take their knowledge about the strengths and weaknesses of candidates and what their positions are on issues and whether they are engaging in an ethical posture toward campaigning and political communications.
Regardless of the outcome, Cantrell's indictment still carries weight.
Even if they come out of the investigation or the trial as not guilty, it still has created the perception in citizens' eyes that there's something corrupt in the culture of government that sort of led to these investigations and possible indictments of their public officials. And that's an unfortunate outcome.